Okay, hi. It is us, and we have been. This is a video that we have wanted to do for a while. Well, not this video. Can you choose another place to have your emergency?
There's no one in your way. Stop honking.
Okay, so we've been wanting to do tutorial videos for quite a while, and we had the idea to do a female to male makeup because a lot of the time, you know, it is females who are cosplaying males. And just with the difference in bone structure, it's really nice to look accurate. And you know, if you're going for that picturesque sort of like male physique, you want to get it right. And so this is teaching you how to do that with fake things. Makeup.
First step is put up my hair.
Yeah, first step is put up your hair. And if we already put foundation on because we're sure you all know how to put foundation on. And then the first step that we're actually going to do on camera is contouring and highlighting, because that's a very important aspect of the differences between the male and female faces. That the male face, structural-wise, is more like prominent, like features are more prominent, and women's faces tend to be softer. And so this is all about adding shadows and highlights to make your face appear like it is more toned and masculine. The characters that I do her makeup for as a man are like Sherlock in Germany, and so I'm going with a very masculine makeup. Like there can be characters that are males who don't have as masculine faces.
Italy, for example.
Italy, yeah.
I don't want to be this sharp and prominent with Italy if you were a woman being Italy, but you do want to contour still, because he is like a boyish character, which they have those in anime a lot, but you don't want to just still look like a lady.
Yeah, you don't just want to be feminine. You want to. I mean, unless you want to, that's fine. We're not telling you how to cosplay. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm taking a really light brownish color. This is called Fawn. I don't know what the name of this palette is, but you can pick up a color, and I've done this a lot, but I'm going to do it anyway.
It's called Free Palette from my friend.
It's called a free palette from her friend. And what I'm just doing is I'm taking this on a big brush, and well, it's not a kabuki brush. What I like to do is I like to squeeze it so the tip becomes a straight line, so that it gives me more of like an edge to work with. I'm just going to follow the natural, actual contours of her face and just darken them and emphasize them more. So, what am I doing? I need you to face me. What I'm going to do is just follow her actual cheekbone. And what I've done is I've just created a brown line. Okay, simple enough. And you want to do it symmetrically on the other side, so that you get two brown lines. Two brown lines. And then what you do is you take your brush and you blend it out. A lot of things that I've seen is that a lot of people contour and they just leave it as a brown line. And although that can look good in certain lights or aspects, it can, I think.
Pictures, maybe.
Yeah, you really want to blend it out so it looks natural, so it doesn't just look like a line of brown eyeshadow.
A poop smear.
A poop smear. So what I'm doing is I'm just going over it in a circular motion. I don't like using brushes as much, but I'm doing it, so I'm just going to use my fingers. And again, you want to do like circular motions or just like quick strokes, because that's how you blend. I know.
You should also slap them a little bit. Ah! It was not a little bit!
Oh.
Joking, because that is little slaps.
that's a tap. Okay, and so I'm
trying to add humor.
You're...
And then you slap me across the face.
That's funny. So, yeah, what I'm doing is I am just doing circles, and it's not working with the brush, so I'm going to do it with my fingers. Because, why the hell not?
These are also really cheap brushes, so...
Yeah, if you have good brushes, they probably work better. What you want to do is blend it into the actual, like, part of where their face ends. Cause, like, yeah, you don't just want to leave it as a block. It just doesn't look that solid. So, let me see... I'm not entirely pleased with this one, so I'm just going to blend it more so it looks a little less dramatic. Sometimes for characters it can be really nice to leave it dramatic, like if you're doing like Maleficent per se, the cheekbones are very overemphasized, so you really want to have like a sharp line. What I'm doing next is I'm moving on to the jawline, and men have naturally square jawlines than females. What we're doing is contouring that. Yeah. I'm just going to do the same technique. I'm just going to create that shadow, which it did not show up for some reason. Sometimes you have to do multiple lines. There you go. You want to really create a sharp angle, and then of course blend it out if you don't want to use a brush.
Into the shadow of my neck.
Into the shadow of her neck. And I like to go sometimes, I've never done it before, but I'm doing it now because it makes sense. Go like behind the ear, because that's where the natural shadow is. And this looks great, actually, so I'm gonna leave it like that. Blend down the neck. You always want to blend down the neck. A lot of people think that it stops at the neck. It doesn't stop at the neck. And then I'm gonna do it again on this side. Pulling your hair with me. Make sure your hair is out of your face so that your makeup person doesn't hit you. Again. Hi. And again, you just want to go down the face. Voila. And something that you want to do is, what I like doing is I like connecting this area because it is, because this is like a naturally hollower part of the actual cheek. Sometimes there's a muscle here, but I'm just not going to add that in because I don't want to. And what you do is you just take a brown shadow and you want to leave it slightly lighter because it is still going to be hit by light, but it's not going to catch as much as the parts of the face that we're going to highlight are. So yeah, you just add that shadow in between the jawline and the cheekbone. You again blend it. A part that I forgot to mention is the chin. A lot of makeups I've seen, the jawline contouring just stops like directly at the chin because they think it's a different part. This is all your jaw, so you want to make sure that you highlight all of it, or you contour all of it. And what I like to do is I like to go underneath and then a little up on the sides to give that effect that it is protruding. And
don't go on the middle of the chin. That just looks weird, and you want that to be sticking out so there wouldn't be a shadow there. There'd be light there. You're putting shadow where there isn't shadow.
That's what you have to realize. A lot of the things about contouring and highlighting is that you want to contour and highlight places that will always be hit or not hit by light. Like, I wouldn't contour this area of my nose because sometimes it's not hit by light, so there is a shadow, but it is still catching light in a sense. Like, it's still a 3D part of your face. The time it is acceptable to put shadow on your chin is when you're creating a divot or like a cleft chin. So like I like to do on the bottom, you just come up and make a little line and blend it out. You don't want it to be too dramatic unless you're trying to make it really dramatic. So you just blend it.
It all depends on the character. Just look at the shape of their face.
I like to have a shadow where the bottom lip and the chin meet so that it again creates the effect that it is coming out of the face more. And you just do that by doing a little small stroke where it actually is. Small stroke. It's a little small stroke. And then you just blend that out again. And you have a man chin. Congratulations. The part we're going to move on to next are the temples. We had to stop it to work with the camera for a sec, and I noticed when we did that her chin was very crooked, so I fixed it. It's a little wide, but I like it, so I fixed her chin. If you were going to point that out, I was saying that I like to move from the outer corner, or like the edges of the face inward to really focus on features, because features can really make or break if you are feminine or masculine. I
did like a really sharp pain thing and I'm like, ah! So you're talking and I'm just going, ah!
Don't mind her, she's broken.
I'm broken.
So what we're going to do next is we're going to do the temples, which is the area right here, if you didn't know.
My body is the temple.
Yep. Those are a lot. They're like very contoured on people's faces naturally just because that's how people are made. So what I'm just going to do is I'm going to exaggerate it just because men have sort of they have a more protruding forehead. And what I'm doing again is I'm bringing it back into the hairline and I'm connecting it to the contour right here, so that, because like the cheekbone does go up, it goes out and down back into the face. Come on.
You just poked me in the eye.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
I didn't even notice. I'm just going to blend it out. It is fairly blended already, which is kind of... This one is still here from last time. Again, just bring it back in the hairline. Man face. And I'm going to move downwards. So this is more of a feature on more masculine characters like Germany and Sherlock, and it is sort of like a contour above the eyebrows where the brow bone sets forward. And again, that's really more of a masculine thing just because of the fact that their face is more heavier set. So what you do is you follow the natural shape of the eyebrow and you create a line that goes into the temple, and it will look a little like just another eyebrow for a second until you fix it. And then you just blend that out again. Like I said, I prefer to use my finger. Voila! That's voila.
Oh.
Yep. And so then we're going to move from this downward to the nose, which is really, this is very heavily focused on how your nose is actually built. Like if you have more of a skinny nose, you would do something else. Or if you have like a wider nose, you know, you would contour more to get a slimmer nose. It really is just how you want to play the character and how your nose actually is.
I have a rounder nose.
So I like to make it
Pointier.
pointier. So what I do...
Because anime characters have pointing as fuck noses.
Yes, and also...
Noses that are pointy.
When we cosplay real people, we try to capture the essence that they have. Like, we try to capture the features that they actually have. Like, when we do Sherlock, we add the little moles on his neck. We try to be accurate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down her nose on both sides to create a really solid like line, like a really straight shape. And then on the bottom, I'm going to bring the shadow to a point so it looks more like a point. So you go down. The hard thing about contouring is that it will look really dramatic at first. Why can't I do this for some reason?
Because you're usually facing me.
Oh yeah. It will look really dramatic at first, and you just have to not worry about that because you're going to blend. And then, like I said, I bring it down on the tip of her nose to a point, and then I blend outward. Okay. Because noses, I'm going to make her nose appear to be like jutting out more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to contour some where her nostril meets the nose part. I take anatomy, guys. Okay, I know what I'm talking about. And then you go in and out. And there you go, there's a nose. The nose is probably the part that takes the least amount of contouring because it's really easy to work with.
And also tiny.
Also tiny. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to focus on her eyes. And again, making her eyebrows really heavy set, what I'm going to do is take the same brown and I'm going to bring it in the crease of her eye, like underneath where the orbital bone, that's what that's called. I know that. And I'm just going to bring it in and I'm going to, don't be afraid to get it in there. It doesn't hurt, right?
They do that with eyeshadow all the time.
Well, good ladies, you're set. It's a good thing this is a tutorial for females. Voila! Now you've got heavy set eyes.
Did you connect that to my nose contour?
I did!
Wow!
Wow! So what I'm going to move on to now is I'm going to move on to highlighting. What?
What I'm going to move on to now is I'm going to move on to highlighting.
Shut up! For this I'm going to use this weird little brush. And a color that is very light but is still... I don't like to use white when I'm highlighting unless you're already wearing really pale foundation. I like to use a color that is just like a really pale color because it will... When you get like light on your face, it doesn't show as white. It shows as a lighter color of your face. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so you put it in and you dab it.
Put it on your brush.
Put it on your thing. And what you want to do for highlighting is you want to follow the contour that you made because the contour is where it's shadows, so there's always highlight above it. Right? What are you laughing at now?
You can't say. What you want to do is you want to take the...
Stop, I'm bad at talking without a script. Shut up! Improv is not my specialty. So with her cheekbones,
if it's a situational improv, yeah, you can use situational.
I'm going to... I'm really upset now that you said that. I'm going to follow the contour I made and bring it up into where like it is set by the edge of your face too, just because that's a very important part of the bone. And you do want to blend it, but you want to leave it slightly less blended where it meets the contour.
You're just highlighting the shadows you made.
I'm just highlighting the shadows. And so, with that basic knowledge, we'll speed it up here. Turn your face down.
Oh, I was like, what are you doing?
Because we're going to speed this part up, I think. This is a really important part that a lot of people forget about. It causes the temples to look more set in, and it brings the forehead forward. Forehead forward! And then of course you're gonna get down under the nose. Doop-a-doo-doo, that was not enough. An area I like to highlight as well is right here, which is called the T-zone. But again, it does the same thing. It brings the forehead forward. And so another area that you want to highlight, I'm going to use a smaller brush. This brings the eyebrow bone forward because that's all we care about. That's what men look like. Hey. No. Oh, this is a good area a lot of people forget about. Right here, above the mouth, brings the mouth out and makes you look, and also below, makes you look like a man. Now we move out of contouring and highlighting and into fun things like this, eyebrows. I personally believe that eyebrows are the part of the face that can make or break you looking like a man. You know, you could be a really good female cosplayer, but if your eyebrows are like
plucked and gentle
and pointed, it just doesn't look masculine. I don't know, because there are men with eyebrows like that, but not these ones. So what I'm taking is I'm just taking an eyeliner, and I'm just going to follow her actual eyebrow.
You're gonna regret that face later.
And fill it in. Yeah, they're gonna put it in. I'm just gonna fill it in, and I'm just going to go a little above to make them look slightly bushier. Oh. You're like on the verge of laughing at me. What the fuck is your issue? There's an eyebrow. And then, this is an important part. This thing is an eyebrow brush. Comb. And you use it to make the hairs follow the design the eyebrow that you painted.
The drawing.
So that it looks like eyebrow, not like
eyeliner.
And there you go, that's an eyebrow. And it's a man eyebrow as well. Something that I've seen people do that I am a fan of, but I don't do it a lot, is to take eyeshadow and set the eyebrow that you made, which I guess you can do. I don't do it a lot, but I'm doing it for the sake of this video. Let me move on to the next one, and this is really hard. A rule about eyebrows that I follow heavily is that, I heard this somewhere, that eyebrows are
sisters, not twins.
Sisters, not twins. They don't want to look identical because then they look fake because they don't grow identically.
He always finishes the eyebrows, looks at them and goes, sisters, not twins.
Sisters, not twins. See what I mean? Let's be a little longer. They want to look like similar, but they don't want to look identical because I just said that.
Just like sisters, but not twins.
Just like almost sisters, but not twins though. Then you do the same thing. You comb it up to work with the shape that you made. You do this a little bit to soften it. Oh, this is weird. This is a very weird angle for me to work from. Okay, there you go. There's some eyebrows. And I'm going to do the same thing that I did with the other one, where I'm going to set it, this trick that I saw on the interwebs. There you go, there are some eyebrows. She's looking more and more like a man every day. I'm just going
do some last minute touch-ups.
Do some last minute touch-ups, like fix the goddamn cheekbone. That refuses to go. Was that like, that was the broken part of my... I just like scratched it.
I'm used to it. You're very aggressive when you put on makeup.
I am. Aren't I?
Wipe it off.
Last minute touch-ups would be making this not so long. Something that I've tried to do on multiple occasions but is kind of difficult is I like to define lips. I don't know, I think men have different lips than women sometimes. So what I like to do is I'll take a brown and I'll like go in and define areas like the Cupid's bow and the bottom, and then what I'll do is this handy dandy eyeliner stick comes with a smudgy thing, so you can go in and you can smudge any lines you made.
Family Dollar.
And don't worry about the lines you make on the lips being like, you know, messy or something, because you're just gonna do that anyway. I don't know if you can hear that. You probably
not.
Because it's HD. And so that is how you be a man. And you strike a man pose sometimes. Man pose.
Look over your brows.
This is what I do a lot. There you go. And that's how you create a man face. That's how I create a man face. You don't have to create it the same way, but a lot of the aspects are just things I've learned from other people, and you can take this on as well. If you're cosplaying Germany, this is great. If you're cosplaying Sherlock, you would want to make it more dramatic. There we are. That is how to be a man.
If you're a lady.
If you're a lady. Or if you're, you know, just having some fun. Mm-hmm. Bye! Oh, I'm too big.